Right guys, this is the Hammockgear Burrow 20 Fahrenheit over quilt, sleeping quilt, whatever you want to call it, sleeping bag blanket. It's a 900 fill power down blanket, and it's made with a material of M50, which you can get through Eyelets.com. This material is supposed to be ultra light sort of stuff, seemingly better than pertex and a hell of a lot lighter. I'll give you a weight later on, but it's a lovely thick quilt, over quilt, which is what I've desired. It's got a number of features on it. It's got tabs that are running through or down the midsection of the quilt, which will attach to the pad, which I'll show you in a minute. And then you've got these fasteners at the bottom. Again, these fasten down, and I'll show you that in a minute, with a cinch there, if you can see. This bit here, it cinches into a traditional sort of mummy bag, I suppose. As you can see, there's no hood on it, and that's the idea with having a quilt, so you're saving weight on that. The idea again is you've got a press stud there and a press stud there, and it cinches together, and I'll show you how it does that. So you can see it's a fairly wide style quilt, which is fantastic for me. It's exactly what I wanted. So there you go, there's the X-Ped UL7 down mat, and there's a quilt over the top of it. You can see that it's a fairly thick quilt. It's a 20 Fahrenheit, which is a conservative, according to Adam and Jenny Hammock. Hammockgear, they're basically saying it's a conservative measure about -7. I think they're pretty much on the ball there. The fill of it is pretty substantial. They fill it up to the brim. This has got a 3-ounce overfill on it to make it thicker. As you can see, the fabric is more or less see-through. I'm not sure if it's a ripstop fabric, but it's just ultra light. It's very, very good. It's in comparison to what the PhD are using their M-style fabric. And it just feels luxurious, to be honest with you. As you can see, I mean, I've just taken it out of its bag, and it's lofted up nicely. It's a fair old loft to it, and I guess that's what you pay for the 900 fill, in comparison to, you know, 800 fill bags or 750, which is traditional sort of blankets. This is top notch. I did get stung by the customs charges, which is one of these lottery sort of like things, I think, more than anything. But essentially, that is the quilt. And as you can see, fairly big. In terms of the size of the UL7, I can just about fit on that, the UL7. And there's a quilt there. And then you bring it down, and it pretty much covers from head to toe, right the way down to there. So it's nicely covering. Demonstration. This is how thick this thing is. So you fasten all the. This is if you want it to be. If you want to cover your feet a little bit more. Not really. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing this, but in colder weather, certainly. -7 sleeping arrangement going to be sufficient. That closes in as so. That's if you want it like that. There's a slight baffle there, a slight hole in there. Essentially, that's what you've got. If you can see that, that's the design of the mattress, of the blanket. Obviously, you have no back to it, but you've got that sort of space. So essentially, that's what you've got there. Okay, and that wraps. You would sleep as so, like that. And then you've got, if you really need to, which I'm going to attach some bungee around there, between these and then wrap around the mat. So that's your, as it's fastened up at the bottom, and then what you would do is, obviously, you've got these little eyelets there, and that would wrap, you put your bungee cord around that, and it would keep the quilt secure to the mat. And then of course you've got then the one strap, the cinch to that fastens to that, and that goes into that, and that goes around your neck basically. As you can see, like a traditional sort of mummy bag, that's if you want to do it. So it's quite a versatile sort of thing really. And as you can see, it's a fairly thick, sort of robust looking thing really, as it stands. But one noticeable feature that's missing is the back there. So the baffles are like in a horizontal sort of fashion that keeps it down in place there. The M50 fabric reduces the weight by about 100 grams if you choose over the standard denier sort of fabric that they use at Hammockgear. So here we are, that's in the, I guess, the winter mode sort of style. I've got the feet inside there, as you can see, and I've got that coming over the top of me. I'm on the Exped at the minute. Feels lovely. I've got the same restrictions I have with a sleeping bag. Not to say that you're not going to get a bit of wind in there. This is going to be very much a try and test sort of thing. But that can be wrapped around you in the same way. It's just a matter of doing that, making sure you're warm. It is extremely warm inside this. Second part is to fasten the thing here, press stud. Put your head inside it and pull the drawstring. So it's around there. So now I've got this, okay, wrapped around as so. With your down hat on, balaclava, whatever, and then you've got a little bit more latitude again, moving around. It's always round your neck to keep you sort of snug. So it's there. And bear in mind also that if you want to put cord around these, the eyelets, they go around there and on round the other side to keep it firm. As you can see, there's the all there and all there. It just makes it a lot more warmer and a lot more versatile to be moving around. As you can see, this is it's quite a full quilt. It's quite thick, it's very warm in here. There's no heating or anything in through, but you unclip it here. And this is how you could have it as a summer sort of configuration. It's going to be very warm in the summer this. This is going into a winter sort of quilt. Put your feet out of here. You see how thick it is, this quilt. Unbutton it. And this is the beauty of this quilt. Do the drawstring. And basically, there you go. You put yourself an overcoat. And that's what's so great about it. With this, perhaps you can just, to maximise it a little bit more, you just put these, again, these eyelets around there. But you literally can wrap yourself up as you would do at home in your own quilt. That's so. Move yourself around without restriction. I'm not a fan of mummy sleeping bags. I just don't think they're great. I don't sleep on the back. I like to move around on a side sleeper, so this for me is one hell of a good option. PHDs are far too expensive for an overquilt. In my opinion, this is a better design and also a better quality than PHD, dare I say it. It's certainly got a better fill power, it's got an increased weight of down inside it in comparison to the PHD. So I'll stick my neck out and say it's pretty much a better sort of quilt with a lot cheaper. Okay, I was stung on the import charges and whatnot, but as you can see, it is a quality piece of material and quality down that's being used inside it. Fantastic. So there you go. All good stuff. I'll fold it up here. That's how it looks anyway. Like that. And I ordered the non-tapered style, so it's just a straight quilt rather than a tapered one. They can do tapered ones for you, and also they can do sewn-in foot boxes for you as well. So rather than having press studs here, they have sewn-in ones, so it's just completely sewn. As you can see, it's just very thick. It lofts amazingly well. It's as thick as my PHD double-sided PHD, my Altkit Ideas of Grandeur there. Altkit double-sided. It's a very thick sort of standard sort of quilt, and I wonder what the 0 degree burrow will look like, because this is just amazing. Very impressed with it. Very nice material, and I'll compress it down for you and put it on the scales for you. Yeah, this is a stuff sack. They've made out the same M50 material that I've asked for. Very light. Let's see what the weight is of that. Let's just see what the weight is of the little stuff sack first of all. 8 grams. There you go, nothing really. Well, that wasn't easy to do. Wow, that lofts up quite a lot, and there's a lot of air inside that, to be fair. But there you go, that's in the stuff sack. You see, it's starting to uncompress a little bit. Again, the loft's just fighting against the bag. You could probably see, I can try and demonstrate how much it compresses. It will compress even more. It's not a tight stuff sack, that goes right in. So it's, even from there you can see how it's fighting against that. And let's just see what the weight is. Put the scales on. Get an idea perhaps of the weight of this sleeping quilt. So there you go, 640 grams with stuff sack, got 8 grams there, isn't it? So 632 grams isn't bad for a -7 as a standard configuration. Remember, I've got an extra 3 ounces of overfill of 900 fill power down in there as well, so it probably takes, to be conservative about it, probably takes it down to about a -10 configuration. Of course, with that baby as well, you just won't be able to sleep on the floor with that. You've got to take into granted, obviously, if you've got something like that, you want a decent nest. I've got Trail Star with Cuban Fibre custom nest I've got from Sean at Hookworks. So, you know, I'm pretty much wind resistant, so to speak. So it should maintain that. I've not had any, you know, I've slept in pretty awful conditions. I've never had any cold, sort of windy spots. So it should be alright. You just have to wrap yourself around in it. And if it works, this works. Yeah, the Burrow 20. As you can see, all the different configurations there that can be done for standard length. There's a Burrow 0 degree. If this works, that's my next project. Absolutely brilliant. And I hope it will work. But there you go. Thanks for watching.